What's going on?
Hey guys, welcome back to The Good, The Bad, and The Glory. It's Nikki here.
And it's Sam.
And this is episode 29.
29, which is a number that...
means nothing.
Yeah, I guess not.
Every week we try to find something with the numbers, but the numbers don't speak to us. It doesn't.
Well, it is also the 29th.
Oh.
So we're doing episode 29 on the 29th.
On the 29th.
And it also happens to be my mother's birthday today.
Happy birthday.
So shout out to my mom who birthed me.
Who birthed you?
Yeah,
that's so funny when I hear people say that. That's so funny to me. Yeah. Who birthed you?
Yeah. Who else would have done it? But shout out to her. Love you, Mom.
Sweet. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. But yeah, other than that, it's Oprah's birthday too.
Today?
Yeah.
Mother?
And I always know that because my mom, just loves that she shares the same birthday as Oprah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a special day.
Yeah, very special.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, but we're back at it again.
Mm-hmm.
The final week of January.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys are still out there holding on to your resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
It's barely been a month, guys. Let's hang in there. But I guess we'll get into our weeks, right? How was your weekend?
Yeah.
How was your weekend, Nicole?
My weekend was pretty good. What did I do this weekend? Friday, I went out with my friend. Saturday, I caught up on a lot of sleep, which was amazing. I literally woke up. I got some stuff done. I did some reading. I took a nap. I woke up. I cooked. I took another nap. It was amazing. Like, it was perfect. And then I went out on Saturday night to a friend of mine. She has a ministry. It's called the 1024 Ministry, and it's like a young adults Christian network of people. And so they had a party they had a party on Saturday night, and that was pretty cool.
That's dope.
I went to that. Yeah. That was cool. We had a good time. And then Sunday church was amazing. Wow. I keep saying amazing. Church was great. I need to find other words. Church was really, really powerful. And then we watched the Grammys.
Nice. You said we? Who was you with?
Me? Who was we? I was with my sister and a few people from my church. They came over to my sister's house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we watched the Grammys together. So that was cool.
That sounds dope.
What about you? How was your weekend?
Oh, man, my weekend was cool. Friday, my wife and I, we actually took our nephew out to Chuck E. Cheese.
Ooh.
And he, lost his mind.
I'm sure.
Had a good old time. It was the Chuck E. Cheese in Long Island in Hempstead.
Okay.
So when I went to Chuck E. Cheese before, when I mentioned on the episode with Antia, I believe that was episode number 21. Episode 20?
One of them episodes.
One of those episodes. Go check it out. I went to the one in Brooklyn. The Hempstead one is lit. The Hempstead one is pretty lit. Yeah. It's nice, spacious. They had this like McDonald's tube slide thingy that the kids got to go inside and climb up. Which scared me half to death because I'm not a parent. Okay, I have someone else's, child in my responsibility.
That's crazy.
So they designed it in a way when the kids go up there, you can't it's a tube. You can't see through it. They only have certain windows and stuff like that. So they see in the past, you just hear a bunch of screaming and, the kids running all over the place. And I was like, I kept moving throughout the tubes to see if I could hear my nephew. He sounds like this. He's probably in this section of the tube. And it's sometimes I see him through one of the windows. I just Jesus Christ. I don't know how these parents do it. But yeah, he was just up there and I had a slight little panic attack. But, he was good. We had a great time. I actually, like I said, last week's podcast, I'm a non-committed vegan.
Yeah.
So, that basically means, if I'm especially craving something non-vegan, I will allow myself to have it. And actually did have my first and only non-vegan thing since.
Wow.
There.
Which was pizza?
Yeah, some of the pizza. Not even like I just took a little bit of the cheese off of the pizza and I tasted it and I was like,
was
Jesus.
it heavenly?
It was pretty heavenly. I'm not gonna lie. The pizza at that Hempstead Chuck E. Cheese location, woo, some good pizza. Wow. But yeah, that was a Friday. My official vegan journey ended on Wednesday. But on that Friday, that was that little piece of cheese that I had was the only non-vegan thing I've had for the whole year.
That's great.
I've still been keeping up with it. After Chuck E. Cheese, my wife and I and our nephew and his parents, my in-laws, we went to a vegan Italian restaurant.
What?
Yo,
where?
It was good in Long Island.
What?
I think it was in Limbrook, wow. Long Island. It was called Three Brothers something. I'm sorry, I can't remember, guys.
Wow.
But they had like an eggplant parm, a vegan eggplant parm, vegan mozzarella sticks.
And so it was like, did everyone like the vegan cheese? Because I know people go away. Really.
I loved it. I loved the eggplant parmesan. Okay, it was amazing. They had a vegan penne. We also had they had buffalo cauliflower.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
So freaking good.
Amazing.
Man. Good vegan food. And I also had another vegan spot on Sunday. Mm-hmm. It's a place called the V Spot.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Ooh, Latin this time.
What? You're doing it.
I'm doing. If I could live in the V Spot,
that name is
that was a little tricky to navigate. If I could literally just eat from there for free every single day, I could be a vegan for life.
What?
I could be a vegan for life. They had like these. They're Nacho Supreme.
What?
Woo!
What do they put on? Is it like a loaded nacho?
It's like a loaded nacho.
Okay.
It's like guacamole. I wish I had the menu list in front of me, but it tastes like legit nacho. I think they had some kind of cheese on there. Sour cream, some beans.
The V-Spot is in Brooklyn?
It's in Park Slope.
What? All right.
So my wife went there with a friend on Saturday. Mm-hmm. She brought some of her food back. I tasted it. I was like, nah, we having this tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
She had like these mushroom tacos, these bean and cheddar cheese empanadas.
Wow.
It was amazing. So shout out to the V Spot. I enjoyed myself. My wife and I, our best friends Matt and Jan, we picked up some food from there and we watched the Grammys.
Yes.
And had a good old time watching the Grammys. And I mean, I guess that could be a segue into our hot topics as we give our Grammy recap.
Yes.
So Nicole, what you thought about the Grammys?
I thought it was good. I started watching it like maybe 25 minutes late. I didn't know it started at 7:30. I thought it started at 8.
Oh yeah, I knew it started at 7:30, but you see, me, my wife, and my friends, and I think you too, Nicole, were cord cutters. So we didn't plan how we was actually going to watch the Grammys.
That's funny.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to think through like that. What I got to hook up.
What we got to hook up.
Sign
whose
into.
account we got to use.
Yep.
We actually bootlegged somebody's account.
Wow.
And watched it on the CBS Live.
Nice.
Stream. So that's how we got to watch it. But it took a little while to set that up. So we started watching like around 7:50, something like that.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I missed Kendrick's performance live, but of course I caught it on YouTube.
Same here.
Very, very easy. Yeah. Very easily caught it on YouTube.
It was dope.
Some highlights of the show. Let's see. Well, first let's start with what we looked at for predictions.
Yes.
Mainly the album of the year, and just highlight the fact that Jay-Z walked away with absolutely nothing.
He was nominated for 8 Grammys
and got 0.
He left home empty-handed.
Like, wow.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised. I didn't think they would have Jehovah, Sean Carter in their building
and
at the Grammys.
No. Not even Sean. You brought his wife. You brought a whole Beyonce.
Yes, the
to
Carter
the
family.
And the child, and didn't give the man
and
one
didn't
Grammy.
Get
not
nothing.
One.
I didn't think that was gonna happen, but
that was surprising.
I did also think, if Jay-Z wins an award for 444 with Beyonce in the audience, is that kind of weird? Like, you know, getting awarded for an album where he came out that he cheated on you with. Well, would that be awkward?
First of all,
for Jay?
Jay-Z was not recording 444 in secret. I'm sure that all along, like, I'm sure Beyonce helped him with the creativity or whatever. I'm sure Beyonce was a part of the planning process for this album. So it's no surprise. Yeah. It really isn't. But it is shocking that he didn't win anything. On the other hand, Bruno Mars took it all.
Bruno Mars pretty much won it all. Yeah.
Full sweep.
Of the major 3 categories: Album of the Year, Song of the Year, and Record of the Year, I believe.
Son, he's out here.
He destroyed it. He destroyed it all.
What did you think of him and Cardi B's performance?
Okay. So we could get into I guess the performances that made me want to watch the Grammys. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Specifically Bruno Mars and Cardi B. Mm-hmm. And Rihanna, DJ Khaled, and Bryson Tiller.
And SZA.
And SZA. Yes, she was also performing there as well. Sorry about that.
Yes.
And I don't know. I was a little underwhelmed. I think I may have been expecting too much.
From the performances?
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically with Bruno Mars and Cardi B, I'm not necessarily going to blame them. Something was going on with the sound.
You think
it sounded weird.
Okay.
I was like, they're not trying to be that authentically 90s. All right. Where the sound sounds like you're using like a speaker from the 1990s. It was weird.
I just have something to say. I just need to get this out.
Okay.
I've been holding it in for a very long time.
Oh, okay. Yes.
You know I love Cardi B. I'm a fan.
Talk to the people, Nicole. I'm going to let you have the... Talk to the people, Nicole.
Do you know what I'm about to say?
Talk to the people. Just talk. I just want you... You go ahead, Nicole.
Yo.
People gonna think I'm a hater.
No.
But go ahead.
I love Cardi B. That said, I've realized on multiple occasions, Cardi B doesn't have any rhythm. She cannot dance. But she was a stripper. I don't get it. She is always a beat off. Forever. I just be like, wait, catch up. Wait.
They hit her for a majority of that performance. She was gone for a long time.
She just be bouncing and hopping all over the place. But I'm like, girl, find the beat, mommy. Find the beat.
Look, I love Cardi B, despite what most may think. She's a great personality, a great person. Love her. And I think she deserves all the, recognition and the fame that she's getting. Absolutely. But just when it comes to the actual, musicness of music.
The musicness.
I don't think she's that talented. I'm not saying she's not talented.
Wait.
I don't think she's that talented.
Are we talking about, wait. I don't think.
I know you're talking about the dancing.
Okay.
I'm bringing it into anytime I see her perform, I'm just like, I'm either getting
yes, okay,
this is a carbon copy of Nicki Minaj, or
okay,
you're just the dance moves are a little, like you said, a little shaky. The rap, it seems like you're trying to keep up. The bars ain't crazy.
So okay, let me say this. Hold, you slow down right
Wait,
there.
You're not with me on this one, Nicole?
Slow down. Okay. So I will say this.
Yeah.
When I watch Cardi B perform, I realize I have to. Okay. I realize that she needs help in the stage presence area.
Absolutely.
Certainly. I just be like, girl, you can't just stand there. Well, you can't stand in one spot while you're performing in front of thousands of people.
Absolutely.
I think she has made progress. I definitely think that somebody told her something. Said girl, you gotta move or something. Yeah. They started adding mad lights to her shows. She got dancers now. She got fire popping out from some of her shows. It needed more.
Yeah.
That doesn't take away from the fact that she is a little too. She has maybe 2 left feet. That's fine. But I do think outside of her songs, and I think what's selling her is really her personality.
And it's amazing. It's top notch.
I think it's great. And I like her songs. Her songs are very her. they're true to who she is. And I think it's easy to buy that. Like, I believe her because she's she's consistent.
She is.
Now, I just think she needs a team of people. Like, you know, on like Making the Band or like, I don't know if did you watch, what's the Kelly Rowland show? June's Diary. No, that's the name of the group. Chasing Destiny. They had a team of people. I forgot the guy's name, but like people who work with them on the steps, the choreography, the when you hold the mic, the when you like. She just needs that.
You don't think she has that though?
She needs more.
She needs more.
She needs a new team.
She needs night classes.
She needs night school.
Yeah.
Something.
She does.
But I think it's coming though. I think with time it'll come.
Maybe like the fame kind of overtook her. So far I've seen her on the Grammys, and there was one other big awards show that I saw her, and I was just like, nah, yo, the performance is just not. It's not. And now I haven't seen any of her shows, so maybe I don't know if she kills there. But so far the major joints, it just hasn't been there. I love her though. She's great at being Cardi B.
Okay.
But yeah, that was it. And I'm not gonna say anything negative. I will just say the performance I enjoyed kind of more so than the other performances that I thought I was gonna enjoy was Childish Gambino's performance. I was shocked by that, and I think it was because I thought I wasn't too familiar with his music, so I thought he was more like a rapper or something like that. But the joint he did, I was like, this is kind of cool, like,
yeah.
And he was singing and stuff like that, and I was like, I didn't expect him to just be singing the whole time.
Yep.
I liked it.
I enjoyed it too. I know that you're not a Kendrick fan. Did you like the Kendrick performance?
I think that was my favorite performance of the night.
Look at God.
Yeah.
Look at what he does.
Kendrick Lamar did his thing. He killed it.
I think
awesome.
Incorporating Dave Chappelle was genius.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when Dave Chappelle, I was like, oh, I guess the performance is over. And then it went back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
That was awesome. I loved it.
It was great.
Any other highlights from the show?
The only other thing that I thought was kind of interesting was the Despacito performance without Justin Bieber.
Did I see that? I feel like I missed that.
Oh, really?
I may have been chatting.
Oh, yeah. They did Despacito with the other artist on there not named Justin Bieber. And I was genuinely surprised that he wasn't there. I don't know if they were like, look, we're trying to make this a black, sorry, not black, but a people of color Grammys, Justin to this one out. Or maybe Justin had church and he just couldn't make it out because it was a Sunday evening. Yeah. He had an hour of power later in the evening, so he couldn't make it out. I also wanted a little more from the Wild Thoughts performance, but I thought it was good as well.
Really?
I was surprised Rihanna chose to sing live.
Yeah.
I was
and
really
do all
shocked.
that dancing.
Yeah.
I was surprised too. I was surprised. It was a little shaky.
Yeah,
a little shaky. But I enjoyed the performance. Rihanna was dancing. I liked it.
She was.
I liked it. She was dancing. The visuals on that performance I think were dope. Lastly, I would say.
Sorry. One thing about that performance. You know what comparison I never made before, and I was so mad that I was so surprised I never made that comparison to DJ Khaled.
What's that?
Because Jan, our friend Jan, she was asking me, she's like, so what does DJ Khaled do? Like, is he signed? Like, don't only artists get signed? Like, how's he an artist? Like, he's not like singing, he's not rapping. Like, no, but he's like a artist though. He's a producer. He's like the Kirk Franklin of the secular world.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my goodness, he's the Kirk Franklin of the secular world.
That is so accurate.
Yeah, I was like, why have I never put those two things together?
Yeah, and he's built like he's as legendary.
Yeah.
DJ, we actually had a similar conversation in that, like, is there any other producer who is as vocal as DJ Khaled on any of their music? None. Nobody.
I don't think there's any other DJ that's done it like how he's done it.
Did you know he started out as like a reggae DJ, like with Movado and all them?
I know he was doing radio.
Not radio, reggae.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, things to know.
Yeah.
The last thing that surprised me is that SZA was the most nominated female artist and got not one Grammy.
Not one.
Moment of silence.
People were up in arms about the best new artist category.
Oh yeah, who won that again?
what's her name? Alicia?
The girl. Yeah, the girl who sings that song. Her songs are very popular.
Yeah, I think she was on Stay with Zed. All you gotta do is stay.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that song.
Everybody knows that song.
Yeah,
like,
but people were saying her debut album came out 3 years ago. So like, how she winning Best New Artist?
But SZA's also not a new artist either.
Oh, really?
Not at all. No.
Really?
SZA got a few albums, a few projects out.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But this one just popped off.
No.
Anyways, right. That was the Grammys. It was good. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a cute little thing to watch.
Oh, sorry, one more thing. Did you see the commercial where apparently Omarosa is going to be on Big Brother?
Nah.
Yeah, she's going to be on the new season of Big Brother.
That just stole my joy. Like, what?
Yes.
I mean,
gotta do what you gotta do to make money.
I guess she got it. She getting a check.
Gotta get that check.
What else is going on?
Now, this story has been out for a little while, but I just found out about it today. It has to do with a post that Ciara put up on Instagram, and it featured a portion of a clip of one of John Gray's sermon. You guys can hear it right now.
The other side for any of my single sisters is a God. What is about? Where, Lord? Where am I going to be found, Jesus? I've been in here worshiping you, perfect in all of your ways, but I'm still single. Here's what the scripture says. He that finds a wife finds a good thing. Didn't say he that finds a girl that he's attracted to, who he then begins to date, who he then calls his girlfriend, who he then buys a ring, proposes, and makes her his fiance, who he then marries later, who becomes his wife. You're not a wife when I marry you. You're a wife when I find you. You become my wife when I marry you. But a wife is not the presence of a ring. It's the presence of your character. Too many women want to be married, but you're walking in the spirit of girlfriend. Ask the Lord to deliver you from that spirit and carry yourself like you're already taken. And I promise you, when you carry yourself like a wife, a husband will find.
So Ciara posted up that clip with the caption, #level up, don't settle. Period. All right. Nothing else after that. So Twitter and the social media online world was up in arms.
Yeah.
With Ciara. It led to many a discussion via the internet, via The Real, where the women of The Real gave their opinion. And Ciara later clarified her original post by saying this. She screen capped something from her notes app saying, I was once a girl. That statement could be taken wrong, especially if you're from 10 years ago when those rumors were flying about.
Oh, yeah, that's so terrible.
That was not a shot.
Oh, man.
Yeah. What she said was, I was once that girl wanting to be loved a certain way, but was making the wrong choices. I found myself at my lowest moment. I was a single mom sitting at home, and I then realized that the perfect love I was looking for was how God loves me, how he wants me to be loved, and who he was calling me to be as a mom and a woman. That's when I realized, married or not married, I needed to love myself. #level up. All right. So you know what, Nicole, I'm going to take a little backseat, on this one. I don't want to make, a mistake, as most men do, by speaking before, we hear the woman's perspective, on a matter that actually pertains to them. Okay. All right. So, Nicole, how'd you feel about the sermon, the clip, the whole controversy, everything?
Okay. So, there are two sides of it, right? There's my opinion or opinions about what John Gray said, and then there's opinions about what Ciara said.
Yes.
And the John Gray clip really went viral because Ciara posted it. Now on the clip, I have to remind myself that it's literally just a splice. It's literally just a clip of a larger sermon. Maybe if I heard the larger sermon, maybe I would feel differently. I didn't listen to it. Now, let me say this. I am a John Gray fan. He's one of my favorites. I really enjoy his speaking. I think he's funny. I think he's relevant. I think he's on point. This clip, I just feel like it kind of like rubbed me the wrong way when I watched it the first time. I think for many reasons, like number one, just the way the church talks about dating, relationships, and marriage, it just is so stale. It is so outdated, and it's just like, no one thinks like, and it doesn't happen like that anymore. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a couple weeks. However, I think there is always this huge microscope on women when it comes to preparation for marriage. I've experienced it. And I think that what's a little dangerous about what he said is that so many times I've seen it happen so many times when women who are in relationships get caught up playing the wife role when they're not wives, technically. They're girlfriends. You understand what I'm saying? They're courting. You get caught almost playing house with a man that's just wants to be in a relationship for another 10 years. I think that's dangerous. Like, I think giving too much of yourself to a man that's not your husband is dangerous, and it can get you caught out there. So I think that is something that can be misunderstood about what he said.
Absolutely.
Like, being a wife to a man that's not your husband is toxic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's toxic. Let's just be real and say that. And so I think I understand what he's saying in that, like, I think he meant that men recognize women who carry themselves differently as women who are ready to be married. Yeah. I get that, but I think there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. There's so many layers to that. Yeah. And I think when you put that in a 1 minute video, it just gets misconstrued.
Absolutely. All right. So there's so many. I have so many complex thoughts on this. Right. I feel like there's so many different variables to unpack. Right. Here. Right. So I think that as responsible Christian people, I think in 2018 we need to stop posting 1 minute sermon clips.
Listen, I mean, but do we really stop? Because that's how many people get their.
That's true, depending on what it is. Depending on what it is, but it also gets a lot of people dragged out here in these streets.
It does,
especially because I believe in church, especially the Black church. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of seasoning put onto preaching, all right? And what I mean by that is that there's a lot of things that are said, and there are certain styles of preaching, and sometimes there can also be a sort of aggressiveness that comes with it too, or a certain way or manner of speaking. That if someone just takes out that one clip portion of it, I think the heart and soul and the truth of what the message really means can get lost in it. Right. Or it could get very misinterpreted or offend a lot of people. And I think we've seen a lot of examples of that. So I think it was really hard to get like the true deep meaning out of what was, or I think what Pastor John Gray was trying to say. I think some people, or at least I know I kind of took it as at first glance was that, wait, are you saying to like be a wife to somebody like right off the bat when you get into a relationship, like act like you're their wife? But I don't think that's what he was trying to say. Right. I think he was saying there's certain characteristics that a wife has, which is not, cleaning up after this man you've been dating for 3 years, or cooking for him after you've been with him for 3 months and stuff like that. No, not that. Certain stuff about integrity, how you believe, maybe your prayer life, stuff like that. Like nothing having to do with you actually having to be in a relationship. So that's what I believe. But once again, that sound like that is going to get lost in a 1 minute sermon. And a lot of things with our favorite preachers is that not only do we love the word they bring, but they also carry a certain charisma about them, a certain attitude. And when they get into that flow, like, and what could seem like the high point of a sermon, because they have that charisma, and he was very charismatic in that clip, which I'm sure touched someone. They're like, oh, we got to share this. The single people need to hear this.
Right.
It's just like, nah, it's not going to be received in the right way.
Exactly.
So I think number one, we as church going people need to be, more responsible with, certain clips we share. Number two, Ciara. I think it was very easy for people to take that the wrong way, especially after your caption is level up.
Okay.
Hashtag level up.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ciara.
Nicole, if a woman came up to you and all she said to you were the words level up, would you take that encouragingly?
Boy.
From one woman to another woman.
Listen.
Like, level up.
Yo, Ciara got ahead of herself.
Yeah.
She got ahead. She had the Twitter fingers when she was posting that. Like, she's like, oh, I'm going to post this. Hashtag level up. And then she got caught out there. Bruh. And then she had the shuffle backwards.
She definitely had to
shuffle backwards and backpedal and put up this post on how she cleaned it up and how she was talking about how she was longing for love. Homegirl, we were not gonna get that from you saying hashtag level up.
Period.
Right? So
Don't settle. Right. Period. You could have at least added "I love us for real" or "Hello, my loves."
Hello, my loves.
You could have thrown that in there.
You could have said that. We would have been with you.
Exactly.
But you want to put hashtag level up. It was pretentious.
Yeah.
It was nasty. Like, come on.
I gotta be honest with you, Nicole. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I feel like prior to this post, and let me know if I'm wrong. I feel like Ciara has kind of, since she's been with like Russell, since she's been married, I feel like she's always kind of carried herself that way. Like,
carried herself what way?
Like, oh, I got my man. Like, you
really?
know, like
I never got that. I never got that.
I get that kind of vibe from her. I'm not gonna lie.
Fine. Yeah. But this post definitely confirmed it. If that's how you felt, because this was like, and then so she pretty much switched up her story when people started telling her about herself. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ciara caught the heat. She caught the heat.
Exactly.
So that's interesting though, that concept. Yeah. But I think that kind of brings us into our glorious thought, right? Today we're thinking about social media, and we're thinking about how it gives us a platform. We're thinking about a lot of things regarding social media. I can speak for myself and say this, right? I've decided to take a little bit of time away from social media because for me, it is sort of like a reset button where I can literally just tune everything out, like turn it all off, completely unplug, and focus on the things that are the most important to me, and the things that are going to set me up for a really productive year. So, but during this time, I just realized I learned so many things. I learned that so often we live our lives under the gaze of everyone else. And when I say that, I mean we live our lives knowing or in the back of our mind thinking that everyone's watching, and it low key sort of directs the way that we live our lives. And I really have been trying to be intentional about just being authentic and leading with whatever the whatever. All right, I'm not gonna curse on the show. Whatever I want to do without thinking about what anyone else will think about what I want to do.
Wow.
And that's really hard because even down to little things, like you go to a restaurant, or you walk past something and you decide to take a picture. You're not taking a picture because you want to capture it for yourself for a memory, or like, wow, I just really think this is beautiful. Wow. Most times we're taking a picture because we want to post it on Instagram for other people to look and interact with us and to see that look, I saw this thing. Look, everyone. And it's not really for yourself. Wow. It's almost always for other people. So it's just like, how do we get to a point where social media is really an accessory instead of like an engine that is driving the way that we live? Because that's really unhealthy. Like it can get really bad, especially for people who are not really secure in who they are, you know?
Absolutely. Like what you just said made me think like, yo, like the whole reason of like a good portion of people take pictures like in this day and age has like changed. Mm-hmm. Like before, when there was no like social media, you were pretty much taking pictures to like, oh, I want to remember this moment. Oh, I want to look back. But it's like, nah, this picture will get a lot of likes. You know what I mean? A lot of people's gonna like this. Gonna be, and that's what people really think about. You know, I've heard this said a lot of times, I think from different speakers, but you know, when you compare your life to social media, like, and it's the danger a lot of people do, they're saying it's like you're comparing like the entire picture of your life to a snapshot of somebody else's life. So you're comparing like your current struggle, maybe a struggle you've been going through for the past few years, past few months, to a single second someone posted up, like, literally. And you're thinking, oh, they got it all together. Like, it's crazy when you think about, like, you could just look at yourself and think about how much time did you really spend putting that picture up on social media, right? Like, if you yourself know how much time you take putting things up on social media, chances are the other person you're comparing yourself to on social media took that same amount of time to get that picture looking just right, you know, on social media. I gotta be honest, I'm guilty of that too. You know, like I be, and that's probably the reason why I don't really post on social media like that. Like, it's just like, nah, I don't really, you know, like that, I guess, burden maybe that is kind of there to, oh, if I put something up on social media, it's gotta, you know, be like really, really good. It's gotta be a really good picture. It's gotta be something really interesting. Oh my goodness. I be asking my wife to read my captions. If I put something up like, yo, this is good. This is, you know, a nice line. Is, you know, it's not like weird. Enough. Is it clever? Yeah. You know, there's a lot of, you know, thought that goes into it. And I could, you know, be honest with myself and just be like, yo, like that effort it takes to like put that on social media. Oh, if y'all see me put up a snap, you know, that took a lot. Like a video of myself. Like, come on. Right. I've literally never went live.
Yeah, me either.
Going live, you can't edit that.
It's too much.
You can't put a filter on that.
Right. I've never done it.
Yo, I've never done it. And you know what? 2018, I am gonna go live.
Okay.
I am gonna go live one of these days, this year. And that's like a step for me, because like I said, you say something, you can't take that back. There's people, you know, watching you.
Yep.
So social media, if you allow it to, can reveal a lot of insecurities about yourself, and you know, how you view other people, and honestly what you even think about your own life.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. And I want to be clear and say that I know that social media is not all bad. It's really not. It's actually one of the most genius things, and it has connected us in ways that would otherwise not have happened. And it definitely, we live in the age of social media. Like, you go out, you snapping pics, you on Snapchat, you this, you on Instagram Live, blah, 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 blah. You post it, you checking in on Facebook. That's the culture we live in today. Absolutely. It's not all bad. I think it becomes a problem when, first of all, in real life, like, you're like completely like, you don't know how to connect with people in real life. Like, I think that is the social media gives you that crutch, like, where you have this pseudo idea of all these friends that you have and all these people that you're talking to online, but in person you really can't make that connection. Yeah. I think that's become a challenge, especially for younger kids. Like, people don't know how to have conversations anymore. And I think that is a problem, because literally you get together with young people and everybody's on their phone. Like, it's like, why spend time together if we're just going to sit here and talk to each other online? I think that, and I want to be clear and say that it's not all bad. Yes, we have to really take social media for what it is and make it work for us. However, I just think it has become a crutch. Like, it's become so much bigger than what it should be in our lives. Yeah,
for sure. Like, I remember back in the day.
How old are you, Sam?
When I was a young spring chicken. I think back when, I would say when Instagram was really popping, but I think it still is. But I used to literally make sure I was caught up on Instagram. Like, I had to make sure I got my, like, I seen everything in my feed.
Since the last time you logged in.
Since the last time I logged in, I just keep scrolling until, okay, that picture looks familiar. And I think what helped is that, like, when I fast, it's usually a default that I fast social media as well. So usually when I'm fasting, I'm usually fasting for like a certain period of the day. So I make sure I don't go on social media at all. And of course, if you do that consistently, you're gonna miss things. You're gonna miss things on social media. Like I can't, fast till like 6 p.m. and then from 6 to 10 o'clock, I'm just like, all right, let me catch up on how many pictures was posted today. It made me realize like, yo, it's not that a big deal that I'm just not like caught up on stuff. Like I'm not gonna miss nothing crazy. So like I think social media gives us this false idea that we have insight into everyone else's life.
Yeah.
And the truth is you don't. I mean, it's literally still like walking by, someone in the street. You're only gonna see what they want you to see. All right, you don't have a deep connection to this person. You don't have a deep friendship. Whatever they want to show you about their life, they're gonna show you via social media. Whereas opposed to a friend, someone you're closely connected to, who's willing to share the things that are unglamorous, that are, that's not gonna get them likes, that's not gonna do anything like that. That's how you really know somebody, when you have a relationship with them. And
right.
Yeah.
I think the question that I've been asking myself recently is, why is it that when I want to focus, why is it that when I want to really hone in on like myself and just be more productive, that equals no social media?
Wow.
Like, why does that? So that means that social media is a distraction.
It is.
And it's like, when I want to turn the volume down on life, to quote the great Deion Kippin, when I want to turn the volume down on life, I remove myself from social media. Wow. And it's because I think I'm realizing that like, it's really information overload. It's a constant stream of thoughts, of ideas, of too much information. And for me, I don't know about anybody else. For me, it's overwhelming. Yeah. It really is overwhelming. Like, I'm trying not to be too religious about my fast. So it's like, I logged in because I needed to message somebody and I needed to share some numbers or whatever. And then I just looked at like some of the things. I was like, this is too much. Yeah. Like, I'm not ready yet, So I don't know. I'm just working through a lot of what that means for me and what it's going to look like in the future. Like, what's the healthy balance? Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like in this space for me, I feel happier and I feel like I'm living a more authentic life. Yeah. But I want to be on social. I want to be on Snapchat. So I don't know. I got to figure out what works. Yeah. And I haven't thought about this. I haven't done an in-depth study. Nothing on that. But the thing that came to mind when you brought up that great point is just like, human connection and human interaction is just such a powerful thing. It's a really powerful thing. I believe we were created part of something that makes us human, and something that's part of like our purpose and part of God's plan for us is human connection, human interaction. Like, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Like, that's, a straight up command from God. Like, it is with the two greatest commands: love God with all your heart, your soul, and your might. And the next one, love your neighbor as you love yourself. We're all like one in here. So human connection does something powerful to us inwardly. This is how we receive encouragement from one another. Love, friendship, all these things are so important. And I think social media distorts that connection in a way, in a sense where you're not, usually there's like a gate on that kind of human interaction, that human connection. Like, you meet somebody, you get to know them, they're in your life. There's only so many people you can like just literally be around at one time, just physically. Someone doesn't make you uncomfortable, someone makes you uncomfortable, you keep them out of your circle, stuff like that. But with social media, it's like
people are just constantly on you. Like they're not with you, but yet they're with you. And when you go on social media, you're constantly taking in that information. And it's like the McDonald's of human interaction. It's like too much of that is not good for you.
Right.
Like it's not real human connection and human interaction. You can't really control it all. It's like overload. You're seeing one person's life, next person's life, scrolling. Yep. You're seeing little bits and pieces. Maybe you're comparing your life to theirs. People are commenting on stuff you put up and giving their opinions and stuff like that. The lack of response could be taken as an opinion on your life. Like, you know, it's just like,
it's just so much.
There's so many thoughts that could get wrapped up in it because it's a platform that is based on, you know, something that makes the world go round, which is family, which is friendship, which is love.
Yeah.
All those
the
things.
Principle of it, yeah.
So I think that's why it's such like a crazy thing when you feel that difference when you decide to disconnect from it. Because human interaction is important and necessary and vital. And social media is kind of like I'm not going to say unhealthy form of it, but it doesn't have all those nutrients that actual human connection, actual real relationships and conversation has. So when you decide to take out all the real connections from your life, all the real human interactions, you know, the fruits and vegetables and carbs and protein of human interaction, and all you're getting, you know, is the fat. You know, there are some good fats, like you said, everything's good, but if that's all you're taking in, it's gonna be unhealthy for you, and it's gonna start showing up in negative ways.
Right.
So that's why I think it's just like, it's like a cleanse when you decide to put it out of your life and you start to focus on things about yourself. You're not getting, you know, opinions from people that, you know, if you're honest with yourself and the people you're comparing to, you don't really necessarily quote unquote care about them. You don't necessarily quote unquote hold them in high regard. Maybe you hold the image of them in high regard, but you don't really have that connection with them.
Right.
So fasting, I think, or taking a break from social media helps you to really focus in on that. And then when you come back to social media, I think it gets you a little bit better on, I know how to ingest this thing called social media now. I know how to take this thing in doses and use it for what it's supposed to be used for.
Right. So, but the thing is, like, I think the unspoken assumption that we are both having in this discussion is that it's about values. Like, it's about this unspoken value system that we assume that we should have. When I think about social media and what it is and what the beast that it's turning into, I automatically think about young people. Like, I think about the youth. And them growing up with social media being what it is, their values are different from ours. We're assuming that they value human interaction more than they value social media interaction. And that's not always the case. Like, I know that I value human interaction because that's how I was raised. In my family, when we get together, it's about us. It's about being present.
Yeah.
My grandmother raised me to when I walk into a room, greet people, talk to people.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't think that I don't know if that exists these days.
I think that's the danger of social media. Like, I think people do need real life human interaction, like everybody. And I'm speaking as an introverted, sometimes antisocial person who wants to keep to themselves. And it would be a great tragedy for this generation to grow up and think that the way to have human interaction, I'm not saying not meet people or get to know people, but at the end of the day, you gotta have people that you connect with on a real physical one-on-one in-person base, not necessarily through, and it's not even actually let me take out the physical, because you could video chat with somebody. I'm talking about real relationships. I'm not talking about you got a whole bunch of social media friends. You're not looking to these likes and stuff. I think there's a difference between using the internet to communicate with your friends and making basis into assumptions and decisions on your life based on social media, which is the posting up or sharing of things where people can comment on and respond to with like likes and stuff like that. So if this younger generation is placing social media interaction over human interaction, I think that's a big mistake, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of problems and disunity, in my opinion.
I mean, I think at the core of it comes down to values, like what you value more, and allowing your values to be what dictates how you engage with social media, to be honest. And that, I think, is advice to myself for how I'm going to sort of make my entrance back into social media, or how I'm gonna, like, I don't know.
The return.
I don't know. I gotta think about it. I really do have to think about it. But yeah, that's what's on our minds this week. Yeah. And we hope that you kind of got something from it. Tell us what you think about how social media is affecting your life, or what you've learned from being a part of that community. Send us an email at goodbadglory@gmail.com, and we'll talk about it on the next show. Again, that's goodbadglory@gmail.com. You can also engage with us on social media.
Yes.
Creamy
crack.
Right.
The social media.
At Good Bad Glory on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook at The Good, The Bad, and The Glory. We also have a website, www.goodbadglory.com. Sam, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at Oh My Lord. That's OHMILORD on Instagram and Twitter, which I'm about to stop saying since I don't tweet. And you know what? I'm going to go live in February.
Oh.
I don't know when.
Okay.
Could be for my birthday, which is coming up in February. I accept cash as a gift. I'll leave my PayPal somewhere. I think I'm gonna go live in February. Probably Instagram Live.
IG Live.
I'm gonna do it. And so you guys gonna have to follow me on Instagram in order to catch that live feed. Once again, that's at Oh My Lord, OHMILORD. I've been working on some really cool projects lately, and you guys are able to see that on www.ohmylord.com. That's, once again, OHMILORD.com. I got a chance to work on some cool things in January, so I should be posting it like around like the first week of February or so. So, follow me. I love to make new friends.
Yeah. You can find me at NICKITY_. Again, that's NICKITY_ on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to y'all. I'm coming back to social media or whatever. But yeah, I think that wraps up our show for this week.
As always, don't forget to rate us and subscribe. Make sure you do that even right now. Don't just find us on iTunes and just listen to the episode. Mm-hmm. Subscribe to us. We would love to just get to know you guys and leave a rating and a review. And remember, no matter what we talk about, whether it's good or bad, it's all for the glory.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Bye.